Okay, you need to get a premium piece so that it doesn't have cracks and a lot of knots in it. And you want to make sure that it's flat this way. It doesn't matter if it's flat this way because the board will straighten it out, but you don't want it curved and you want it flat lengthwise.
But to use this. Oh well. On the outside. There you go. Now draw your arrow pointing that way. Because that tells you to cut on this side. Right.
So that's still showing.
Now let's see if. Yep. So you're going to cut right there.
There it just goes.
That's right.
Do you put it up like this?
No, really, the other way.
Or like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you tell by...
Well, what you could do is you could get...
Do I want that lined up with there so that it...
No, really, you get it lined up with
right
that. So, see how that's missed? What do you think? I know, you can only look at it from your end.
Can you look at it?
Okay.
Oops, I didn't bring my safety goggles out here.
What's the laser sight? Like they held on me?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little more. Let's see. Go down.
Yep, I don't want to cut on my line. I want to cut to the left of it.
Okay.
Right there?
Looks good. That's left.
Okay. Now what? That?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You hold that?
Yep.
Like this?
Yep.
Left-handed?
Yeah.
Straight down, straight up.
Oh, I'm too off a little bit.
Well, you said left.
I know. But that's okay, as long as I'm too short. It's
Yeah.
better than too long.
Right.
Should I cut some off?
No, let's see. Let's go back and see how it is.
Now it's supposed to fit in here.
Okay, so how does that fit?
Well, overhangs a little bit.
Okay, so then we just need to.
Actually, not too bad. Is that good?
Yeah, we'll have Fran call it.
Okay, so the distance between, okay, I'm going to show you guys, Eric, if you want to come over on this side. And I'll send you guys this electronically, so if you ever need to do this again or fix anything.
I also got it on the website too.
Okay, so the distance from the end to here is 45 inches. Okay, the distance between here and the long tongue of the T of the L is 51 inches. So basically, you're going to take it from here to here, and you're going to say 45 inches, like that. Okay? Then you're going to take this end down here, and you're going to say 51 inches, like that.
Perfect.
Okay? Now, a 2x4 is a slight misnomer because there's really no such thing as a 2-inch stud. Okay? So basically what you're going to do is here, in here, it's about 3 3/8.
So it should be 3.5. You got a bevel.
Yeah, I sure do. So anywhere, yeah. So right around 1 3/4, it doesn't really matter.
1 3/4. That's it.
Just make it 1 3/4.
That's what we want.
And then, and I have another T ruler over there, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. One of these work.
Use mine is I'm gonna be done here in a minute.
I know that's why I should want to.
You got to build two, don't you?
Some people have really strong fingers, which I obviously do not.
Need some help?
Yeah. Unscrew that so I can borrow the ruler part. And it doesn't matter whether you draw on it because we're going to paint it black anyways.
I'm not.
Just like that. Okay?
You want to paint it black?
So basically what we're going to do,
Just to make sure there's a color that you can stop on.
you have to put, you've got to put black on the edge because if you're using a light sensor, That's going to be important.
I never thought about using a light sensor for the edge.
Other cool thing about a T-ruler is that it also allows you
To draw a straight line.
to draw a straight line.
That is cool. We want to see that video.
It's just go on
Which one's
YouTube.
on?
Just go on YouTube. FLL,
Like that. Okay?
FLL
So,
robot videos.
now what you're going to do is you're going to move the sawhorses in a little bit to give this thing support so it doesn't do this. Or you're going to have two people here basically stabilizing your wood for you. Because otherwise, once you get to a certain point, it's going to want to flip. Okay? So you're going to cut along here, and then, well, before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to drill a
Doesn't
hole
that look bigger than
right
that?
here. It probably is, but it doesn't really
Could
matter.
be
Yeah.
optical.
Okay.
I know, that's nice.
Now, remember, from here to here is 1 3/4 inch, right? So on your other table, you want to make sure one of them is 1 3/4 because this is actually a little bit bigger, this end. Okay?
I think they're the same.
Well, when you cut it though, it's not going to be the same, right?
It should be pretty dang close.
Oh yeah, it's pretty dang
How wide is
close.
that blade?
Okay. So what I usually do on mine is I decide we're going to put the T-nuts down here. Okay? So what I usually do on one of my woods is I just go like this and say that way's up.
Hey, can we drill these holes first before we cut it?
Yes, we are going to drill it before we cut it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be where you use the jigsaw. Before we do the jigsaw, we're going to drill a hole in here because that's where the jigsaw blade's going to fit down in there to go this way. Okay? Now, before we cut this piece of wood apart, because we want this to fit together nicely. Now remember, you're going to lose some wood every place that jigsaw blade goes through. Okay? But since this fits the width of the table, you can do it either way. The carpenter that I talked to said you could do it either way. He said you could flip it this way and go ahead and drill where you want your holes to be. He said, or you can cut it and then put it back together with C-clamps and then drill it. Personally, since I think we're not as experienced carpenters as he is, I think we should drill it and then cut it apart. Because
you'll get a solid 8 feet that way too. You
Right.
won't lose a quarter inch.
Right, and
You'll just have a
because
gap.
last year whenever I
You'll have
did
a
it
gap.
myself, every mistake you could possibly make, I made it, and it's really hard to hold this thing together while you drill it.
Right.
Agreed.
Okay?
Well, let's do it
So,
again.
you're gonna have a long one because you need for this to go all the way through the wood. Okay? So, you can hold it this way and decide where do you want these bolts to be. Okay, now, it doesn't
I'll be holding.
really matter unless you're aesthetically want
No.
it to be exactly measured.
don't care.
Okay?
Is there
So,
anything that's gonna
now,
sit on top of
once you do
That's
this,
the bottom, right? This is
then you're
be the
going to
bottom.
use this to countersink
the
the
top.
bottom because this is what's going to make the hole for your T-nut. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. This is going to go through the wood like this. The T-nut is going to be embedded in the bottom like this, and this is called the T-nut. See, it has spikes on it, so it holds it in the wood. So whenever you put this through your wood, it screws actually into a metal piece, which means you can actually clamp it down so it's tight. Because see how this doesn't go all the way down? This T-nut has to be up here like this.
Oh, you know what? You're gonna need it though. You're right. You're right. You
Okay.
gotta go in there with a quarter inch.
All right, so power tool. Who wants to be the power tool person?
When it
I'll be the
slides
holder.
on.
In we go.
Yeah.
You have to go through the other side.
Yeah, he did.
I went through. That's good.
Oh, all the way. I wouldn't get it. Huh?
Number 2.
Put my batteries on. Awesome.
Okay. Now turn it over.
I'm gonna use this awesome drill over here.
Now you guys have to be careful with this one and make sure that before you turn it on, you want to make sure this is all the way down and centered before you turn it on, because otherwise this hole is bigger than this tip. This tip is so that when you place it on a piece of wood, it's going to go straight down. But since we've already drilled it through, you can't do that. So you want to make sure that when you put this in there, that this thing is at, because see, there's some give. Okay, you want to make sure that you center it down. You could actually,
All right, let's do it.
mark it. And then start the drill so that it's already in the wood. And it doesn't need to go down very far.
I think 3/4 of an inch is all it needs.
No.
Or a 1/4 inch probably.
Yeah.
all it needs. That's probably good.
Yep, that's good.
Always put it in and see if it needs more. Too much.
Awesome.
Bits? Nice.
Paddle bits, baby.
How to do it, let's put this one second.
Then you drop these in like, oh, I forgot the hammer.
I got one.
Yay! Yay, Eric. I knew I was going to forget a tool.
We can find some elsewhere.
No, but it won't hit. Yeah, if it's a little up higher, you could knock it in.
They won't hit
They
in
won't
like
grab?
that. That's why I thought that you didn't want to.
You don't want to take it down too
And
much.
then you can probably just use a tool.
Put a nut, if you'll put a nut on the end here, you won't ruin that screw. You can use this for a tool like this. Okay, just leave it up a little high, and you can use that way or that way. Okay, and hammer it in. There you've got a tool. You won't mess up any threads.
Okay, great.
Okay, so you're going to tap that in. You're going to put another one there. And these are
I
not
don't know
deep
if
enough.
That's not all the way down.
That's not, it's not deep enough that when you cut it with the jigsaw, it's not going to interfere.
Before we hammer.
All these are for. So you can use a washer if you want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, those ought to go down about a 1/2 inch.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Well, now if Wayne says it, we might as well do it because
Might as well.
he's the all end all beat all, right? This guy knows his stuff, I guess.
I'm a computer guy. That's it, I am.
There you go.
I'm a
That's
good wood
great.
holder.
So what, we decided on 5/8 beef?
About 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. is good.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it pokes out a little bit. Just want to
Nah.
make sure it gets going all the way through.
Yep.
Awesome. That'll catch a thread. Because
Yep.
it'll sit in there. Great.
Okay, that'll make it good and tight.
Awesome.
And also, that hole needs to be drilled really square. Some of these drills have a bubble on the end to make sure you're drilling it
Ah,
perpendicular to the wood.
Yeah.
Where's that tool?
It'll be okay.
Hammer.
Square in there. Make sure it's going in the hole.
There you go.
That's great. Okay.
That'll do.
Oh, that one's an upside down.
Flipped around in there.
Got another screw? Oh, you got it.
Did I do that? I did that.
Nah, when he hit it, it went.
Oh,
Okay. Now, with the jigsaw,
Cut.
you're going to
Are you-
cut,
you're
well,
gonna
no, we're
drill a
going to
hole.
drill right here with the 1/4 inch.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to put a hole in here because that's where your jigsaw plate is going to go down.
Yeah. I just want to test this.
Don't put the
make sure.
bolt in.
Oh, we'll just cut the
Before
bolt in
you
half.
cut.
He just wanted to make sure we got plenty.
Oh,
Just want to see if it'll catch a thread or not.
Yeah. If you drill the hole the exact same size as the bolt, you got no tolerance. And drill it really square, drill it right in the middle, it should be all right. Is it catching?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're okay.
And if it's not catching, you'll have a little bit more play after you jigsaw it apart.
Yeah.
Is it catching?
No, it's not.
Perhaps.
We'll figure that one out. I think when we cut it, it'll grab though.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Part 2.
Part, you good.
See if my drill has
Just
got
try to
Now,
make it as centered.
I have before you drill it, notches provide stress risers. If I were doing this, I'd cut curve, then I'd cut, and then I'd cut curve, and I'd leave those curves in there to reduce the chance that the parts would split. No need for that to be a right angle. You don't have to have those sharp corners because that provides a place for a split to propagate.
All right, we can try that. I don't care.
What do you think?
I cut it square. I cut it square just because it fit together better, and I used the drill. And the carpenter who built my tables did the same thing.
And if you don't cut them exactly the same radius,
Whoa.
they'll only fit
Well,
one
it's
way.
not plugged in.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, this is
He's checking the depth of the blade.
Yeah, is it? How do you spin that?
Oh,
thing?
I got smoke blades.
It might spin out longer though, I don't know.
Plug it in and
Is there a release thing? Yeah. Sorry.
I'm not sure that these are any longer.
how do you remove that blade? Just pry this apart? Or is this the lever right there? I don't have that.
that.
There you go.
So that's as long as it is. What else
Is that
how
this
far
long?
down it goes. It might be long enough.
Let's see, plug it in and
I meant a whole big waving plate. Acrylic cube.
This little point right here, it tells you whether you're on the line or not. That's how you follow the line.
Okay, I'm just making sure I know what I'm doing.
great.
See if I can get that back in the hole. I gotta be satisfied.
Oh, yeah, I brought goggles, guys.
They're out by the sound.
And we got extra ones.
Yeah, don't bind it first. Get it started and then go
Start.
down the first.
Got it?
All right, I think the curve's a good idea.
Okay,
Stick with this.
so it wasn't hard.
No, that went
Okay.
real easy.
That was like a line following program.
If you've got a good sharp blade with enough kerf on it, it'll
what?
just go
And I
right
brought
Line
brand
following
new
program.
blades too. in
Actually, I
case
think
we
it was
need
better
them.
than the one I had.
Okay,
The line plug.
so-
Mine was going like this.
Where's your, oh, yours is over here. There you go.
Okay, let's play with the bolts, see if it works okay. Where are the rest of the bolts at?
They're all over there.
Was April supposed to come today?
She was gonna try.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It's like crooked though, so it's like a piece of a puzzle now. It only fits together one way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you, in order to get the,
The angles are.
yeah.
We got wrenches for this too.
I didn't bring wrenches.
Yeah.
Maybe I got a socket I can.
And we have paint out there, Wayne, if you want. So once you get your pieces together and stick them inside so you can yeah, just about the amount that you cut right there. Yeah.
Okay, should I go ahead and screw it in?
No. Wayne is doing it differently. torque adjustment. You don't want it going really hard and fast because you can take that drywall spool and go all the way through that particle board, okay? Also, there's an L cut here. So see this one right here? You don't want to put a screw here because then your table's not going to come apart,
Gotcha.
okay? So the last screw you can put on this one is right here. So make sure you look on both sides. Otherwise, you're going to have to back that screw out or you're not going to be able to,
Don't want to do that.
yeah.
All right.
The only other thing to make sure is that you're flush. Make sure you put your particle board down and tap it into place so that you're flush as much as possible on every side before you start tapping in. And then basically what I do is I start in a corner to hold a piece in, start in a corner to put a piece in, and then just... Now remember, because we don't have all the fancy tools that a professional carpenter has, it may be overlapping just a tad. That's okay. If it's overlapping a little bit, but see this one's like a half an inch, so that's not going to work.
It's just like it's like a rhombus. It's kind of skewed like this right now, so you gotta square it up.
Over here is hanging over.
That's all right. I'll square it up when you gotta put it.
If you put a screw in one corner,
Then you can adjust everything over and then,
You have to put 2 on the wall and then
right.
adjust
Okay,
it.
Bert.
They haven't told us whether they're going to want us to do one of these up in Salt Lake, but I told them that you said it was okay
Okay.
if they want to do one.
Yeah.
I just told them they had to give us some warning.
Yeah.
Now, the advantage is that everybody who built a table today will never have to build another table.
Yeah.